On February 28, 2026, the United States and Israel launched Operation Epic Fury, a coordinated strike that killed Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, 86-year-old cleric who had ruled Iran since 1989, was killed in his Tehran office during the opening hours of the conflict. The assassination marked a dramatic escalation in the Middle East, drawing immediate retaliation from Tehran and plunging the region into uncertainty. President Donald Trump confirmed the operation on social media, describing Khamenei as one of the most evil people in history. The strikes targeted revolutionary guard facilities, missile launch sites, and military airfields, with the US stating the goal was to disable Iran's nuclear capabilities. Within hours, Iran launched hundreds of missiles and drones toward Israel and US military installations across the region, including bases in Bahrain, Qatar, and Kuwait. The leadership vacuum was quickly filled. Iran's assembly of experts appointed Mojtaba Khamenei, the 56-year-old son of the slain leader, as the new supreme leader just over a week after his father's death. This signaled a hardline stance of continued resistance against the US and Israel. Mojtaba, a Shiite cleric with deep ties to the security forces, now holds final authority over Iran's clerical establishment and the Revolutionary Guard. The regional impact has been severe. An immediate Gulf states long seen as sanctuaries of stability found themselves exposed. Dubai residents watched as air defense systems intercepted missiles over their city, a psychological rupture for a region built on commerce and safety. Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Bahrain all reported intercepting Iranian drones and missiles, while strikes near the US consulate in Dubai and at the Al Udeid base in Qatar demonstrated the widening front lines. Global oil markets reacted with fury. Prices breached $110 per barrel as the Strait of Hormuz, a choke point for 20% of the world's oil supply, effectively became a war zone. Iran's Revolutionary Guard warned they would not allow 1 liter of oil to leave the region if attacks continued, prompting Trump to threaten hitting Iran 20 times harder. In response, tanker traffic ground to a halt and producers stopped pumping as storage facilities filled. Diplomatic efforts have been thrown into chaos. Iran slammed the door on negotiations with the US Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, stating that talks were no longer on the agenda, citing bitter experience with Washington lead diplomacy. This came just as Omani mediators had reported significant progress toward de-escalation before the strikes. Meanwhile, world powers scrambled. China, Russia, and France maintained contact with Tehran, seeking a ceasefire, while Pakistan carefully balanced its position, congratulating the new Iranian leader, while also maintaining ties with its US ally. The human toll continues to mount in Iran. More than 1,300 civilians have been killed, including nearly 200 children, with thousands wounded. Lebanon reported over 570 deaths and nearly 700,000 people displaced as Israel intensified operations against Hezbollah. Israel itself has seen at least a dozen fatalities from Iranian strikes. Protests erupted across the region. In Pakistani Karachi, 6 people died as protesters stormed the US consulate, and in Indian-controlled Kashmir, tens of thousands marched chanting, "Death to America." The conflict shows no signs of abating. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu declared that Israel was not done yet. As air raid sirens sounded in Jerusalem, Iran vowed to continue missile strikes in self-defense, while the US and Israel pressed forward with what they called the most intense day of strikes, yet with both sides entrenched. The Middle East now faces a prolonged confrontation that has already reshaped alliances, disrupted global energy supplies, and cost thousands of lives.